Hello, and welcome to the Haunted Library. My name is Constance. I'm going to be your guide tonight. Today we're doing a very special reading of Lover Splat. So gather around, my little darlings. Let me tell you the story of Azora Isgrid. Book, come now. Lover Splat. Good evening, pledges. You all know why you're here. If you want to join the Alpha of Vero, you have to pass the trials. Tonight, we have a very special pledge, a legacy from the founding sister, 10 generations down, Azora Isgrid, Ophelia said, gesturing to the blonde pledge, kneeling on the stone tiles. Please, call me Zora. Did anybody tell you to speak, pledge? She snapped, sneering. We have a very special challenge for tonight, Azora. Have you heard of Gemma Harlow? Looking under her lashes, her mouth slowly opened and clamped shut again. Good dog, Azora. You may speak. Her cynical laughter echoed off the walls. Everyone has heard of her. She's the fourth year that pushed her cheating boyfriend out of the window. Not as dumb as you look. That's right. Legend says that if you go to the boys' dormitory at midnight, reset the password on your phone, and repeat, Gemma won't find out 3 times, her ghost comes to get you. So if you choose to accept, your challenge is to sneak into the boys' dormitory at midnight and summon the ghost of Gemma Harlow. Crossing her arms, she awaited her answer. President, are you sure? That sounds really extreme, like major hard. Tabby whispered to the woman beside her. You're welcome to complete the task for her, Tabby, if you want to vouch for the pledge of Zora. Ophelia barked, not sparing Tabby a glance. The girl shrank into herself. Stepping back, she clasped her hands together and awaited the answer. Sounds easy enough. Sneak in at midnight, Zora said, putting up her best front, the quiver in her voice betraying her fear. 3rd story, dining room, midnight. Turning on her heels, Ophelia marched out of the room. Flanked by 5 other women, Tabby glanced back, wordlessly mouthing, sorry, as she hurried off behind the crowd. What about us? The woman kneeling on the floor asked, looking up at the other 4 pledges. Are we in if you complete your task? I doubt it. Ophelia's just a bitch. Standing up, Zora dusted her knees off. I bet she's waiting for you to ask so she can yell again. My mother was president and said her mother was the same way. When I complete this challenge, I'll ask her. No one else gets special treatment, right? Laughing, she pulled her pink phone from her pocket. The clock read 11:45. I guess I'd better hurry if I'm going to make it across the campus in 15 minutes. Zora, you don't have to do it, you know. They could vote for something else. I'm Nikita Townsend, by the way. No legacy, just pledge, she said, extending her hand in greeting. Shaking her hand, Zora's expression became one of determination. Nah, that's okay. She's just a bully. I'll show her I'm not backing down. And when I'm prez, everybody will say how much cooler I am than that grouch with a bad dye job. Running down the hall, she tried to control her breathing. Why did we have to meet in the basement, she thought. I'm so thankful Mom made me sick with cross country. Jogging across the campus, the streetlights lit up the path, casting an eerie shadow off the perfectly trimmed shrubs. Even though it was early by college standards, the benches already had a drunk passerby or 2 resting their eyes sprawled across them. Pledge week was hell on its best night, but getting into a sorority would open doors for life. One night of alcohol poisoning would be more than worth it. Crouching down behind the bush, Zora looked up the steps. Men were leaning on either side of the guardrails drinking. Red Solo cups littered the lawn beneath them. Groaning, Zora checked her phone again. 11:55. Getting across no man's land would be easier than sneaking in there. Although technically, Ophelia didn't say nobody could see me, she thought, shrugging to herself, strolling up to the door. Hey, little darling, are you from Beta Auric? He said, staggering down the steps. Ugh, as if. I'm a pledge for Alpha of Vera. I have someone I have to meet here. Right on. Lucky dude. Ew, she said. Dodging his hand, she bolted up the stairs, skipping every other one. I might not have the lung capacity to speak by the time I get up 3 flights of stairs. I should have skipped breakfast. I am so bloated, she thought, berating herself as she sped up the stairs. Thankfully, all of the drunks seemed to be on the ground floor. The 3rd floor was deserted. All the dormitories were set up the same, so navigating to the dining room was a breeze. Pausing briefly at the door, she tore the caution tape off of the French doors. That was something she wasn't expecting. The lover Splat, as the students had facetiously dubbed it, happened 10 years ago. Glancing at her phone, the clock read 11:59. Ha! I made it. Take that. Now reset your password. Let me go with 082322. The day that I will get into Alpha Avero, she squealed with delight. Squaring her shoulders, Zora cleared her throat, prancing over to the bay window. She clenched her fist, squeezing her eyes shut. Gemma won't find out. Gemma won't find out. Gasping, she jumped as her eyes flew open. The chair in the back of the dining hall scooted across the floor. Gemma won't find out. Breath stilled, she waited. Just as I thought. It was all bullcrap. Turning to leave, a scream caught in her throat. A woman dressed in the school uniform was standing in front of her. Blood ran down her forehead into her blouse. The splash of blood on the floor was deafening. You thought I wouldn't find out if you reset your password? I'm not stupid, Noah, she yelled, taking a step forward. Zora stumbled backwards, falling onto her butt. She screamed, backpedaling as fast as she could, her pink Nike slipping in the puddle of yellow pooling around her dark-washed jeans. Her palms found the windowsill, and she pulled herself up. Fear froze on her face as bile rose into her throat. Screaming, the ghost rushed forward. Its hand slammed into her chest, forcing the air from her lungs. Her thighs smacked the ledge of the window before she fell over the side. Her arms swung wildly in front of her, trying to grab onto anything to break her fall. With a dense thud, she hit the brick path below. The street lamp flickering, plunging the gruesome scene into darkness, only to return, casting a light upon the crimson river seeping into the mortar. Oh my God, the woman shrieked, looking out the window. Ophelia grabbed her arm, pulling her away. What if someone sees you? We have to go. We can't tell anyone about this. It's an Alpha Avera secret now. Promise me, until death. The trio of women held out their pinky fingers, interlocking them in turn. They kissed their left hand and then their right one. Until death, they chanted in unison. Why was the window open? She's dead. Holy shit! Sobbing, Phoebe wiped her eyes, smearing the fake blood over her hands. She squeaked when she saw it. Backing up, she bumped into Tabby. I was smoking before. I guess I forgot to shut the window, Ophelia shrugged, dragging the 2 girls by the arm to the exit. I guess she'll never get to be Prez, she smirked as she pulled the French door shut behind them. Well, she may not have been able to join a sorority in this life, but maybe in the next one she can be Prez. Until next time, happy haunting.